Contextualism, complementing the context of your surroundings. Now, buildings do this in a few different ways. The way that Trump Tower does this is with those 3 balconies there. They each match the height of surrounding buildings. That first balcony on the right-hand side matches the height of the Wrigley building, first one we talked about. The second right up there to the left matches the height of a couple across the way here. I'll highlight the Jewelers building right over there, as well as Marina City, which we'll see a little bit further up. And then the last at the top right-hand side matches the height of AMA Plaza, this black box building directly to Trump Tower's left. It's a way that Trump Tower can complement the architecture of the surrounding buildings, say, hey, you're looking good today. Keep being a building. Now, as we continue under yet another one of our bridges, right over here on the right-hand side, I just mentioned it, Marina City coming into view on the right, those 2 corncob-like structures. They do look like corn cobs, wouldn't you say? If you were looking from a bird's eye view, they would look like sunflowers, complementing nature. Now, the idea behind these 2 structures here. Now, once again, as I said, not a very clean river throughout the course of history. That was even true in the 1960s, although it was much more industrial waste, less human waste. And to bring back middle-class America to this river during the 1960s, an architect named Bertrand Goldberg designed a city within a city. That means you have all the luxury amenities you could possibly need right inside these 2 sets of buildings there. Things such as a restaurant, shopping centers, grocery stores, a place to park your boat out here, a place to park your car, yes, valet parking, very important. Other luxury amenities include an ice skating rink, a bowling alley, a movie theater, which is now the House of Blues, great place to enjoy some live music. Grab yourself a cocktail. Now, all the apartments inside of Marina City here, shaped like pizza slices, like triangles. As you can imagine, an interior decorator's worst nightmare. But part of the reason for that strange shape, Bertrand Goldberg said, there are no right angles in nature, so why should there be in my buildings? Wants to complement nature with his style of architecture. Now, over here to the left-hand side, you can see a good glimpse of the Chicago Riverwalk. Very busy on this Sunday afternoon. Just behind it there, this building with that white stone on the outside and that reflective glass, 77 West Wacker. It's a style called neoclassical. And I really love this style because you have some of the older materials mixed in with some of the new. That white granite on the outside, and if we follow it up to the top, the roof kind of looks like a Greek temple or the Parthenon. But then the outside there has that reflective glass, which we see with a lot more contemporary style buildings, such as the one directly to its right. Now, that building there, 77 West Wacker, is an example of our only international architect whose buildings we'll see along the river here today. His name is Ricardo Bofill from Spain, so we like to give him a little shout out. Now, this section right over here, a continuation of the Chicago Riverwalk, this time, the River Theater. Yes, a theater. And guess what? You're the performers, they're the audience, so give them a little wave, do a little dance, you can sing a quick little song, I don't know. Now, the Chicago Riverwalk in total is 1.3 miles in length. It starts at the lakefront, goes all the way to Wolf Point, which we'll be approaching here in just a little bit. Started construction in 2003. Construction was not completed until 2016. Cost $113 million. That is a very expensive sidewalk. Now, a couple of blocks in this direction here is what is known as the Loop. You might have heard that term, the Loop. Now, we call it the Loop because all the trains in that area there make a big loop around the downtown area of Chicago. Makes it very easy to remember. Now, this bridge just in front of us, just above it there, you can see those train tracks. That feeds into the Loop. I believe that is the brown and purple line trains. And this is what is known as an L train. Now, we do abbreviate it with the letter L, but it's actually because the trains are elevated off of the ground. So there you go. Once again, very easy to remember. Continuing on over here to our right-hand side, an absolutely massive building called the Merchandise Mart. This style of architecture you will get sick of by the time that we are done with our tour here today. There's so many of this style. It's called Art Deco. Now, this building here, Merchandise Mart, completed in 1930 by Alfred Shaw of Graham, Anderson, Probst, and White. Art Deco style, yes. Very popular during the 1920s, what we call the Roaring Twenties. And classified by these deep inset windows, polished Indiana limestone, these racing stripe-like patterns. Kind of looks like pinstripes on a suit jacket. The idea behind this style: luxury, boldness, grandiosity, and eagerness and anticipation towards the future. Now, if you know anything about the year 1929, the future was not looking so great. We will talk about that as well just a little later, but for now, we are entering into Wolf Point. Ooh, yes. Tons of this reflective glass everywhere for these office spaces here. Most of these were built out in the last 5 to 10 years. This is seen as the modern day trophy case of the city of Chicago. But then right over here to the left-hand side, this curved building. It's called the Nuveen Building. 1983. That style contextualism, once again. The way that this building complements the context of its surroundings is with that curve. It matches the curve of the Chicago River. You also have that glass in alternating patterns, blue and green. The blue complements the sky. The green says hello to the river down below. And you may also know this building if you've ever seen the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller's dad worked right at the very top of the Nuveen Building. As Ferris Bueller's performing in the parade, he's singing, "Shake it up, baby, now, shake it up, baby." And ladies and gentlemen, joining us in the back of the boat, Matthew Broderick. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine though? Wouldn't that be so cool? All right, anyways. Now, over here on the right-hand side, can you see this Y symbol in the gate there? That Y symbol pops up all around the city, a very iconic symbol. It's actually where we are now. This is where the north, south, and main branch of the Chicago River meet. It makes that Y symbol, kind of looks like a peace sign. Keep an eye out for that symbol on government buildings and libraries. And even on the back of the C of the Chicago Theater on State Street. It's hidden in plain sight. It's a very iconic symbol. It's like a nice scavenger hunt for free around the city. Now, continuing on just in front of us here to the left-hand side, that pink or peach-colored building. That is the oldest building we're going to be talking about on our tour here today. It is called the Fulton House, completed all the way back in 1898. Now, at the time of its completion, it looked a lot different. It did not have those windows or those balconies. It was basically just a giant pink box. Now, it was used as a dry storage warehouse in the early 1900s, a freezer warehouse in the 1920s, and that is because Chicago was the meatpacking capital of the United States.